Burp.
The Bunker Project podcast episode number 72.
Dun, dun, dun. I feel like I'm on a cop show. All right, Andrew and Bob, we're busting people today. Dun, dun, dun. What are we talking about, Andrew?
We are talking about technology, social media. SOPA is a big topic right now.
And we're just going to bleep that out. We're just going to bleep out that whole section of the show. Let's just do our own show called The SOPA Show, and we'll have nothing on it.
So we were talking about actually starting off the show with like 20 minutes of nothing.
Yeah, it
Just
would
dead
really
air
piss you off.
because in protest over SOPA. Even though we're a Canadian show, but down south it
Hey, it'll affect us eventually.
will affect us. Yeah.
Sorry,
Whoa.
sorry, we've muted everybody. You know, I think what we'll do with the SOPA show is we'll just do about 10-minute show, and it'll be and then the other day, Frankie, John, amazing. I said that's amazing stories. Are totally pissed. Movies for a year? Nah, come on, we drinking between them. Sure.
Yeah, we actually are. We got.
We have to?
Yeah, we do.
365 movies in 1 year? Hey, I don't think so.
Actually, it's 366. It is a leap year.
Yeah, it's a leap year. 366. He's
glutton for punishment.
Anyways, Marcel Laporte is in the house.
Laporte? As in Leo Laporte?
Lapointe.
Yes.
Lapointe. Point. Yeah? Did I get it right with the pointing the finger? Lapointe?
You did.
Yeah. So that's his brand. The finger in the eye.
He told me what he was doing originally, and I'm like, holy smokes.
That's nuts.
How hard is it to do just a well thought out blog post every freaking day?
Well, how hard is it to do? I don't even care about what I'm putting on the blog post, and I'm not going to even think about it. That's even hard. I mean, to just log in and put something on your blog every day. I mean, what happens if you're hungover? What happens if you're sick? What happens if you're on vacation? Marcel, how are you going to handle that problem?
Okay, well, basically, I mean, I've always gone to the movies an awful lot. I love.
Okay, wait. Before we get into that, the concept. Just describe the concept. You're going to a movie a day.
Okay, so let me preface it. It has been tried before I go into anything.
How many times?
I don't know. The most obvious attempt, there was a book published in 2001, and I call it an attempt. I shouldn't. It actually kind of worked. But it was called Year at the Movies, and it was written by Kevin Murphy, who was one of the robots in Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh.
And his whole thing is he went to the movies for 365 days, and he did it for a book, and he wrote about it in the book. Now, he didn't review the movies individually, and he didn't actually go see 365 movies. He saw one 6 times in a week as kind of a joke. Like it was a date movie, so he had 6 different dates, and he did have to write, I don't remember the circumstances behind it, but he had to write one. It was like a pay-per-view movie in his hotel room.
What happens if he had, sorry to just jump in there. So he did a date, right? What happened? Did he talk about what happened after the movie? If they went to a movie, if there was sex involved, did he talk about that stuff, or he just talked about the movie?
Well, here's the terrible thing. I actually haven't read the book. I have it coming from Amazon. That's embarrassing. But basically, the whole idea with my concept is to review 365 movies in 365 days, or 366, because no one's actually done that. So each day, I post an actual review of the movie. And I do want to say, I'm not taking anything away from what he did. I'm sure it's a fun book. I really like him, and I love the show. But basically, I wanted to go see a bunch of movies and review them and do one every day. And it just so happened about a month before I launched this, I found out he did something really similar.
You know what? You should go and listen to the podcast Doug Loves Movies. You know that guy?
Is that Doug Benson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
He is awesome. He actually made a documentary called Super High Me, where he got stoned every day for 30 days and actually had a doctor check him out. He didn't do any THC-related drugs for 30 days and had the doctor do a bunch of tests. He did a psychic test, blah, blah, blah. And then during the movie, he redid the test when he was basically ripped out of his skull on massive THC all day long. And he actually scored better when he was stoned. So,
Sounds like Johnny Fever on WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but if you do that blog post, you could get on his show because he does a show here. He's a comedian. He comes to Vancouver at least once a year. You should definitely write the guy, and he'd put you on his show because Doug Loves Movies. It's a great, great show. I mean, it's a game show podcast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I follow him on Twitter. I like him. I've heard of the movie. Yeah, I'd definitely consider writing him, yeah.
Definitely. Well, look, if you do, put a good word in for me because I've been too lazy to write them.
No promises.
So logistically, you're going to the movies 7 times a week.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm not going every day. I do have a full-time job, so it's a little bit tricky to go every day. So I bank them when I have time, and I'm trying to do it without actually interrupting my life or my social life. And I'm the kind of person, I've always gone to the movies an awful lot, so it hasn't been that much of an adjustment. And writing about the movies comes naturally. We're already about 20 days in, so it's been pretty fun so far.
Now, you're not talking about like, oh, I went to see such and such a movie. It was great. Go see it. I mean, this is like full on with lots of research too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's, a little bit of research, Wikipedia, but a lot of it comes from my own knowledge base just because I love going to the movies. But that's not to say I'm particularly informed from a technical standpoint. I'm not at all.
But you are opinionated.
Yes. I run into a lot of people online who know way more than I do and just make me feel like a simpleton. But for me, it's just I love going to the movies. I love writing about it, so I'm giving it a go with the small knowledge base I have.
So do you think...
I think what it comes down to is like what we've talked about is with podcasting is when you pick a topic to talk about, you have to have passion for the topic.
Yeah.
And you definitely have passion for movies.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about the passion. Like, I think what I lack in knowledge in certain aspects, I make up for in passion, and I really care about going. I love it. And... what I know and what I don't know, I make it part of the blog. Like, if I have no idea about Icelandic movies and I'm seeing an Icelandic movie, I'm just going to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's have some fun.
So, okay, you've been watching movies for years and years here in Vancouver. What is the best theater to watch a movie?
Ooh, that's tricky. I would get in a lot of trouble if I named anything, because they're like, if I name like an arty theater, everyone who likes all the other arty theaters, they're going to get down my throat. I'm going to say something totally sacrilegious. I love IMAX. I'm addicted to IMAX, and I can't get enough of it. And I think there should be more IMAX theaters. It bothers me there isn't
Which
one
is shot in
downtown.
proper 120 mil.
Yeah, what's up with that? There's no IMAX theater in downtown Vancouver.
Well, it's semi-downtown.
Yeah, well, for a while there, the IMAX theater that used to be in our waterfront, they'd show movies every now and then, but it wasn't quite a movie theater. But now they don't even do that, and I don't like having to go to Langley or Richmond to go see an IMAX movie.
The thing with an IMAX movie, just so the people don't understand, we're talking about the different format, and if you look at a standard TV commercial, that's if it's a high end, it's shot in 35 millimeter film. And then you go up one more notch, and then IMAX is the next up. That's 120 millimeter film. That's huge. The film is so heavy that the reel isn't put on vertically. It has to lie flat because of the weight. They're like 300 pounds, 400 pounds per movie reel. So that's a lot of emulsion. That's a lot of
that's
bits.
A piece of trivia that I didn't know.
That's huge. I mean, if I saw... The Revenge of Kong or some sci-fi movie like that, and it was 72 millimeter in an IMAX, and it was grainy. But before they started the movie, they did some nature thing, which was shot in true IMAX, shot with IMAX cameras, and it was crystal clear. So it's like watching something that's shot in a standard video format compared to HD. It just looks so crisp and so beautiful. And I think that's the amazing thing about IMAX is the ability to get more filmmakers to shoot it in that format and have no resolution loss.
Hey, a lot of people don't know that you can go to uncensoredsocialunderground.com, and on the right-hand side in the sidebar there, you can actually buy a beer for Bob or...
Talking about a segue...
No, hang on. It's not.
I just ran out of beer. That's the problem.
It's a little bit of a segue. You can actually buy beer, and we'll actually mention you or your brand and say this beer was sponsored by.
So, do you have somebody that sponsored a beer?
No, but Marcel's doing that now on his.
Marcel,
blog.
you got
Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, I do have a full-time job, but I'm not, exactly made of money. And we all know movies are really, really, really expensive. So I'm doing the whole shameless self-promotion thing. If you feel like sponsoring a movie, I have a PayPal account. You can donate. You don't have to, of course. I will be spending, money out of my own pocket. I don't mind. But if anybody feels like it, that's great. And if you have something you're trying to promote, maybe a movie blog, movie site, movie anything, I'm willing to help you promote it. Andrew and Bob, they promoted the review last week. And, I put it up there. It's not much, but it's something. And
there was a movie that was sponsored by the Bunker Project.
Which movie was it?
Which you didn't pick.
Oh, which movie was it?
It was The Devil Inside. Please don't be angry.
I'll live with that. As long as it wasn't 3D.
It wasn't.
All right. Then it's cool. We will sponsor any movie
Bob
that's
is
not
totally
3D.
anti-3D.
Because Doug
He thinks it's a big
doesn't
scam.
like it. Well, it's not like that. It's just you got to put on these stupid glasses, and I like wearing sunglasses in theaters to bring down the glare because I have light sensitive eyes. So I've got my sunglasses on, and then I got my 3D glasses on. Very uncomfortable.
I've heard a lot of arguments against 3D, and most of them make a lot of sense. I think this is the first one where it's been like, I don't like 3D because I wear sunglasses to the movies. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I'm pretty cool,
I'm
so I got to
holding
wear
out.
sunglasses everywhere.
I'm holding out for the Microsoft Labs holodeck movies.
Oh, yeah, where you're inside the movie. Jean-Luc, good to meet you.
Help
Would you like your
Obi-Wan
cappuccino?
Kenobi. You're my only help.
Yeah.
So 20 days in, 20 days into the movie yearbook blog, are you starting to feel like are you feeling it? Like is it more work?
It's
than you
early
thought?
days, but
I mean, 20 days of going to the movies and writing a blog post every single day, and not just a paragraph or two.
pages and pages.
You're doing like full-on movie reviews, which
Nouns
are
and
very
verbs.
well thought out.
buckets of adjectives.
I will take all that as a compliment. I appreciate it. The truth is, going in... Am I close enough for the mic?
Absolutely.
I'll take that as a compliment, absolutely. But the truth is, going into this, I knew it would be a ton of work, and I was really kind of terrified of it, even though I've been planning it for like 11 months. But, you know, we're about 20 days in. We're almost a month in. Honestly, like, I've had a lot of fun. It's been great going to the movies. It's been great writing about the movies. I've been able to do it without really interrupting my social life. And it's amazing how many people in my life are along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, but you're taking your friends with you to the movies, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's one thing I didn't think would happen. I thought a lot of my friends wouldn't be into, let's go see a movie every day, all day. And it's just been a blast so far. And
Thanks so much, Marcel. I just want to say thank you, Bunker Project.
That's Kemp saying, I'd like to thank you, Kemp.
In Vancouver, thanks to you guys.
Oh, you're what? Oh, Kemp, just like if you didn't hear that, Kemp is now trending in Vancouver because of the last show. Amazing.
he's accomplished his goal. He's leaving.
Yeah, he's out of here. Thank you, guys.
Awesome
I'm out
guy.
of here. Man, I'm going to
So
unfollow that guy right away.
What are you doing with social media to promote your movie yearbook brand? And maybe some people here who are also
Yeah, are you
social media
tweeting during the
people
movies?
here can give you some ideas. And
Oh, yeah. Well, at this point, I'm honestly just flailing in the dark. I really don't know what I'm doing. I have a Twitter account. I'm tweeting here and there. I'm trying my best to get out there and meet people. I've been getting emails and suggestions. It's been fun. But the truth is, I don't know that much about promotion, marketing, any of that. I'm learning as I go and trying my best. And the truth is, I don't have a lot of free time for any of that stuff right now. But I am.
You
willing
should
to
check
learn
out
and
Hootsuite,
eager.
because then you can be blasting out to multiple platforms at the same time, even though a lot of people say you shouldn't do that. Yes.
Yeah, I have to ask a question. So if you are going to be spending all of this time doing the 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 pages, how long does it take to actually write a tweet?
Oh, that's true.
oh, that was directed to you.
Yeah. You just tweet the
No,
headline.
but he is using he is using.
He is tweeting. I would tweet the headline. Just finished. Link.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I tweet when I'm on my way to the movies or, when I'm done, instant reactions to the movies, or I'll post a link to my review. And a lot of my tweets, I'll just post fun articles I find.
Okay, I have a question. So this is blog based. Are you using WordPress?
Yes.
Okay, so in WordPress you can have a little plugin on the side that shows your most recent tweets.
Yeah, I have that.
All right, cool. So there you go. So you know what you're doing. You're cool. No worries. What you should put... Do you know the plugin that retweets your old posts?
Retweet old post.
That is awesome.
See, I'd consider that, but I think it's a little bit shameless. I don't know. I'd rather have, new content.
Well, no,
Be
it's not,
shameless. Plug yourself.
It's not that. It's more with Twitter. Like if you got 20,000 followers or 8,000 followers or 4,000 followers or 700 followers, your stream's going, gone, gone. So you want to be tweeting a lot. So if you're retweeting old posts, people say, oh, wow, look, he did The Exorcist in 3D. That's amazing. When did he do that post? Oh, 4 months ago. They never would have seen it unless you're retweeting.
With that plugin, though, you can set up the interval to be whatever you want.
Every 18 hours you could repost. I mean, it's not like every hour. That's what I got mine set at, but, I'm crazy.
Bob's a broadcaster.
Oh, I broadcast big time. That's what, on
used to be.
cloud, I am
I'm
not
changing
considered
my
a broadcaster, though.
So
I
what
got,
is the optimum tweet? Just I'm going to say the tweet time. I was talking with someone today. She's a business coach, and she's interested in doing kind of an alliance where we kind of tweet each other about each other. I don't think this needs to be a formal thing. I'm going to
Hashtag alliance. I would do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, she only tweets 3 times a day. I'm saying, I don't see anything that comes from you, and she's wildly only.
How many followers do you have?
No, her.
How many followers do you have, though?
I have a little over 1,300.
Well, there you go.
But she has a little over 3,000. But she's only putting stuff out 3 times a day. I said, you got to do way more than that, or people aren't going to be seeing it.
Yeah,
Well, I
absolutely.
don't want to overdo it. I'm like, you're not overdoing, you're underdoing it.
Yeah, it's a difference. I mean, if you're tweeting, the thing with tweeting that it's like a ticker tape. It's you're tweeted at 9:13 and 38 seconds, and you go back like 10 seconds later or 1 minute later, you're not even on the screen. Yeah. So if you do the same post on Facebook, people get emailed and say, "Hey, Bob just made a comment. Do you want to check it out because you're mentioned in it?" And it sits in your inbox in your email if you've got your Facebook set up that way, and then you go visit that site, and it's stuck there. Same thing with your blog post. It's there and it's stuck there. With Twitter, it's just fodder. It's like boom and it's gone, boom and it's gone. So unless you're having a live internet, somebody said it's like a walkie-talkie conversation. Twitter. Hey, I just saw a great movie. What do you think? Out. Hey, I thought that was a good one too. What do you think of the popcorn? Out. It's
another
that type
good
of back and forth.
analogy is it's like a cocktail party. There's conversations, you pop in, you pop out, but the conversation is constant.
Yeah, and then you wake up the next morning, you have a headache, and you can't remember anything. Twitter.
And you look back at your old tweets and go,
oh my God, I said that? Actually, I looked back at our old podcast and I said, wow, I was so pissed on that show. Amazing. I do not sound pissed. Hey, anyways, did you, just to kind of do all the way around, about using a movie to describe what you're doing, did you ever watch the one about the lady that did a blog about cooking?
I actually have not seen Julie and Julia.
Oh, you got to see it.
But the funny thing is when I talk to people and I'm like, oh, I'm going to the movies for every year, I get a lot of, like that woman who cooked the cookbook for a year and it was a movie.
Yep, you should go see it.
And then I say yes and pretend I've seen it.
Go see it. It's lovely. It's lovely. I mean, it's a very, very well-done movie. I enjoyed it. And it really promotes butter, which is a nice segue for, butter on your popcorn.
Real butter.
Actually, you could review popcorn.
No.
I'm busy enough already.
Also, base sales way better than real butter. Real butter tastes like nothing, and they charge you 50 cents for it.
Actually, you know what the best thing on popcorn is? Spritzered soy sauce. Amazing. Or baker's yeast. Amazing. Just put
I have
on.
to say, base sale is definitely not better than butter.
Yeah. Anchovies on.
Unless you like
Esquire
plastic
Lufar.
on your popcorn.
Anyways, all right. So what are we talking about?
That's a digression. Have a drink.
Oh yeah, I'm like a beer and a half into the digressions. My God. What are we talking about this show, Andrew?
Well, we're going to start off a little bit with, unless anybody wants to say anything about the movieyearbook.com before we move on.
Movie Yearbook? IMDb.
Go to the movieyearbook.com. Check out the blog. A new movie is being reviewed every year, or every week, every day. Holy smokes, every day.
No, he wasn't smoking in the back. Trust me.
So I guess can I do like one last note?
Yeah, you bet.
Yep. So I mean, this whole thing really is just an experiment. Like what it is, I love going to the movies. I wanted to try reviewing a movie every day for a year, just see how it is. And it is an ongoing experiment. I really don't know what I'm doing. So if you guys have suggestions, I have an email address, suggestions@themovieyearbook.com. If you guys have any idea of the kinds of movies you'd want me to go
Twitter,
see.
you mean Twitter.
Pardon?
What's your Twitter account? Because that's more of a Twitter
Twitter
thing.
is @movieyearbook.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm open to suggestions. I'm totally cool with going outside of my comfort zone, which seeing this many movies, I'm going to have to.
Will you accept dates?
Yes, I'm up for anything at this point.
Will you do
an
shots
ongoing
of whiskey during a movie?
Probably not.
Because the last time I did a movie date with a reviewer who was seriously into movies, I brought a bottle of whiskey with me. It was a Woody Allen movie, and I was doing
Which one?
I think it was Annie Hall, and he said I laughed at all the wrong parts. I thought it was a hilarious movie, but it's Bob. Why were you laughing? Well, when he did that super intellectual thing about War and Peace, I have never read the book, but it had to be funny, so I just cracked up. And no, Bob, that's not the way it works.
So, of all the Woody Allen movies, you had to ruin arguably the most iconic. Not cool.
No, I didn't ruin it. Well, maybe for the people in the theater at that time. I had a great time. It was one of the best. I mean, Sleeper, awesome. One of the ones that nobody loves. Did you like Sleeper?
No.
No, you see. Oh, Woody. Okay, your favorite scene, the lobster, when she's trying to put the lobster in the... No? No.
No.
All right. obviously we have to go see a movie together because it would be so totally different.
Oh yeah, like I'm game. Like I love going with all kinds of people and just getting different perspectives. And part of this whole thing is just, meeting like-minded people, meeting new people, talking about film.
Awesome. I'm there.
Cool. And at the end of the whole thing, you're going to have an ebook called the Movie Yearbook. And it's going to be free if you sign up for your email list, right?
Probably.
I think you should get people to sign up for your ebook, get it massively on
Well,
the
that's
assumption that
actually-
you're going to do the book.
Because everybody does it. You were saying everybody does a movie yearbook, right? So why not you?
Yeah,
You've already
well-
got the domain, the Movie Yearbook.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a possibility. It's something I'm not against. It's not something I've really thought of as far as publishing or anything. I just, I want to just keep writing the blog.
No, it'd be an
having
ebook.
fun.
It'd be an ebook.
But to backtrack a little bit, Andrew here has been trying to get me to do like a mailing list for ages, and I'm not really sure if my audience is the right kind of audience for a mailing list, and this is probably the best platform to discuss such a thing.
Well, it's a good question. Like what is the purpose of your marketing plan? Are you there to build your community, get to know people, and then introduce them to specific products that you think are cool and actually work for you and have benefits and make profit from that? Or are you just into educating people about great movies?
Either way, you should have a mailing list.
Nah, I beg to differ.
Really?
You could have a great Twitter following, you could have an amazing Facebook following, and still make money from it.
Well, I mean, there's no product. There's nothing I'm trying to get anyone to do or anything. I just want to spread the word about film. Just have a good time.
See, that's the ultimate passion.
Except when you start season 2 of the Movie Yearbook, you could email all your email followers and say, "Hey, check it out."
99 cents.
Fair enough. Though theoretically, if they are my readers and they come to the website, they won't need an email to know I'm still doing it next year.
Yeah, but some people
Exactly.
some
Actually,
people forget though.
What I
Some
would
people
do,
forget to
I
do
would
that.
do an
But
app.
that's what Twitter's for.
I would do an app.
Some people aren't following you on Twitter.
That would be awesome. Do an app, put it on your iPhone and your Android, and then every week you get like 7 movies that he reviews and say, best 7. And then you could break it up into categories. Out of the 7 movies I watched this week, here's 2 movies you can take a chick to. Here's 1 movie you can take your buddy to, and the other movies avoid at all cost. And you could do something like that.
Oh yeah,
That's worth 99 cents.
Yeah, I'm open to literally anything, but I don't know how to get something like that off the ground. I know
Oh,
nothing.
easy peasy lemon squeezy, as they
You
say.
know, Bob, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all done. Now
Make-
you know me, it's all done.
Make me an app.
I'll make you an offer, definitely. All right, back into SOPA. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. People that don't know what SOPA, and there's another acronym, POPA, SCOPA, PEPA.
Yeah.
That's for the Peeping Toms Association.
PIPA
Because you
and
don't-
SOPA.
Basically, what it is the U.S. government doing sneaky stuff again, trying to organize and give the Congress or the government, in parentheses, the ability to shut down IPOs, which is basically a website.
Not IPOs.
Well, what is it?
IPO.
Websites, right? The website address, block and website address. So
Basically
it
what-
shuts down without permission or due process.
It just allows them to censor the internet.
Yeah, which is what China does.
Yeah.
So
but
the U.S. is the new China.
The whole spirit behind the bill is the
That's BS.
Anti-Piracy Act, basically, right?
It's a BS thing that they're using. It's like, oh, we don't want this to
But
happen,
if you
so we're
actually
totally
read
going to
the-
screw you.
If you actually read the legislation, there's all sorts of powers and
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
So
Don't get us started. And we're in Canada. My God.
January 18th, right? There's how many sites here are?
A bunch of sites are going to shut down because basically
Gone
they
black.
say if this law gets passed,
Well, already have
they
shut
will
down.
be shut down. Because of this law, they will no longer be able to
Potentially
publish content. That is their fear.
So they for the day they went dark.
Yeah, so the big ones, Google,
No, Google didn't go dark.
Google Plus.
They put a banner, little on their logo. They put a kind of tape across.
All right. Epic Games,
Wikipedia.
Boing, Wikipedia,
Wikipedia.
Mozilla, that movie guy in Vancouver,
Hey, don't forget WordPress.
WordPress. Yeah.
Yep. Well, a lot of them they're going dark, but at the bottom it says at the very bottom there's a little link saying, "Take me to WordPress," and then you can actually still get there.
Yeah. Okay.
But some sites are actually going 100%.
I have to say, though, this is kind of minor. I don't support SOPA at all, obviously. But the way Wikipedia has handled this is a little bit silly. Because if you go to the website and you type in anything to search, the page will load and then it will black out. So you can just load the page and then hit stop, and you can still do all your research. So it's a little bit strange how they did it, because I don't really think they're going to teach anyone a lesson.
No, but
Yeah.
but it generates awareness
It's more of an awareness campaign. I mean, this is like an awareness campaign.
without hindering people's ability to search the site.
Oh, yeah. Like SOPA's all over Twitter today, and like nobody had heard of it until today. So, yeah.
The whole thing is that if enough noise is made by the online community, and that's who we are, we can change political opinions. We can make things stop and we can make things change. And that is huge. That is the new generation mixing with the old generation saying, you know what? The internet is a political platform. And if we don't like something that is basically going to destroy our environment, our park, the internet park that we hang out in.
It's democracy at work, basically. Like This Week in Google published today, and Leo Laporte was saying that so far, just because of this campaign, 35 senators reversed their position on SOPA.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be senators the next season. I mean, the power of the people.
SOPA was basically kind of shelved for a while they reevaluated it. But
right,
there's PIPA too.
But the thing is, the opinion is like SOPA is basically the dirty dog that they've done to grab our attention, so we're going to complain and fight against that, and then they're going to sneak in people in the back door, and it's basically the same thing that they're putting through. I mean, it's a brilliant plan. If I was being paid to be a nasty guy on those guys' side, that's just exactly the same thing I would have done. So that's what they've done. They've just been caught out at it. And so we're fighting two things right now. And that's what I think people need to understand.
Kind of reminds me of what was going on up here with the metered internet and things like that.
That got shut down big time. That was awesome. That was a Facebook-driven thing, too.
Mm-hmm.
I was all over that. I actually got all excited about that. That was an old bunker project when they were trying to basically bottleneck the internet and say, if you're going to have X amount of bandwidth, because now you only get X amount of bandwidth if you're a little player, and the big players get ultimate bandwidth. Andrew, weigh in on this one for the details.
Basically, what it was is the internet would be metered.
We got really pissed off. Everybody in the internet lobbied against it, and they shut it down. It was awesome. And we'll put that in the show notes if you want to follow these guys. They're on Facebook. It is the net neutrality. What are those guys? The metered internet guys. Thank you, openmedia.ca. Thank you very much, Gaming Maven. All right, so he's such a gentleman. See how he adjusted a mic and handed it over to a pretty lady, maybe biased. He's going to turn on that mic by... I'm not going to go there. But, anyways.
Open Media is one of the greatest websites.
It's pretty cool.
Definitely stop metered internet.
But...
Yeah. So it was just another way of bypassing net neutrality, the metered internet.
Yeah, we were talking about SOPA.
Hitting it from the consumer side instead of...
Don't get me started on SOPA, I tell you.
Or PIPA.
I know.
PIPA's the Senate bill that still will pass. I mean, Obama did say today that
he was not going to pass it, but he said, but that might be a lie.
But PIPA is still alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So,
but enough people on the internet are talking about it. I don't think it's going to get through.
Yeah, I wish if everybody here went home and looked at the oatmeal.com and saw his little thing. It's pretty funny. It's like if you want kitten barbecue, then keep going with the internet the way it is. But if you don't want kitten barbecue, stop SOPA.
Man, that's a harsh image.
The best tweet I've had today though is Drunk Hulk. He was like, "Why is everybody so angry about soap?"
Well, if you ever stood beside Angry Hulk, you'd know why.
Yeah.
Dude, you need much stronger soap. That green stuff.
The green stuff. Apparently we're trending in Vancouver right now.
Who, we are?
Well, Kemp is, but...
yeah! Hashtags rule! Yeah, but, it's great to be, trending now, but in 4.5 minutes we won't be trending, so no big deal. So some spaghetti place down in... Anyways.
Yeah. So what else have we been talking about?
All sorts of amazing, exciting stuff.
Hey, but we're moving on to
here we go.
An interesting metric.
Bad reviews improve conversion by 67%. What?
So if you've got
that's what I said.
So if you've got a product that's got all good reviews,
that's bad.
You're going to have less conversions than if you have a few bad reviews.
Because you're not authentic.
Because it's going to look like it's stacked if you're not authentic, right?
Yeah, true. And I mean that there's a thing that says that a person's beliefs, they'll fight stronger than if you tell them no, right? So people like to choose for themselves. So I mean, if you say something's bad, people are like, oh, I don't know if I trust that guy.
Well, the other thing, too, it depends on the severity of the badness, right? If you have reviews that are like 4-star, 5-star, 4-star, 5-star, 0, 0, 4-star, 5-star, 0, 0, then these guys are crackpots because they're so against your product. I was going to kill those guys. They're going to blow up the building. I hate that product. Then, even though it's a negative review, it's so negative that you discount them.
So this is coming from social commerce company Revu.
Well, there you go.
Who released research that suggests that bad reviews are good for business. The company found that 68% of consumers trust reviews more when they see both good and bad scores, while 30% suspect censorship or faked reviews when they don't see any negatives at all.
So yeah.
So, I mean, we never get any negative reviews.
We just got a tweet in, breaking news.
The problem is that goes all the way back to the 1950s when they say bad press is as good as good press.
It's totally
a PR thing.
It's totally good.
I'm curious.
Yes.
Can we do like a micro poll here and find out who
Absolutely.
actually follows the reviews and actually takes action towards them?
Whose reviews?
I don't know, anyone's reviews. Like, do we actually follow reviews on the internet in this room?
When I'm buying products,
Like
I'll read reviews.
Like I bought a Bluetooth headset. This one here's
based on reviews.
Based 100% on reviews.
Yeah, and I've got a headset that I use that I bought myself for Christmas last year, based on YouTube reviews. People saying this is amazing, I love it. This is how it works. I think this is as good as a $100 set of headphones. Blah blah blah. But obviously, nobody else has opinions because they're too busy tweeting. Are you guys hashtagging over there?
No, so
Seattle lady and friends.
So we got to go roll back a bit. I mean, maybe
Roll
not
it back.
Everybody knows what SOPA stands for, but it's the Stop Online Piracy Act.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with piracy.
That's exactly what SOPA stands for. And as far as PIPA is concerned,
IP Act, but I don't remember what the first P is.
Yeah, exactly. So, and yes, the leather chairs
do
IP, make funny noises.
Protect IP Act.
They do. They do, especially if it's
you got leather
tight
pants on.
Yeah.
Squeak, squeak.
But I mean, I can understand bad reviews. Like I personally, I watch a lot of Reviews on a Run, which is a gaming TV show, and I don't always believe what they say, but
Yeah, I think, but with
how-
gaming, you can actually use the product.
Yeah.
Do the first couple of levels. Say, this is. I kind of like this. This works for me. I want the next 20 levels. I'll pay $15, $20, $30, $80.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Hey, I've been addicted to Creeper Wars 2. Oh, best $15.99 I spent.
Creeper Wars?
Yeah, awesome. It's a Flash-based game, and it's a classic. Oh, I'll check out the first 10 levels. It's amazing. And then I'm addicted to it, and I say, look, for $14.95, $15.95, you can get 20 more levels. All right, boom, I'm in. Because I know how it works. I want more of that experience. It's amazing. Plus, apparently there's hundreds and hundreds more levels that their community has built.
Yeah.
So that's the whole gaming platform as far as using a community to actually enhance your product. Is you put out a product, then you make it available through another piece of software that enables them to create a map where you can do different levels. And
it's not another piece of software. It's just that you're using their engine, right? So
but you provide the interface.
As a developer, you build that interface, but usually you've used it as in-house tools.
Don't they provide the interface?
Most of the time.
Like map editing software?
With map editing software, that's actually like a tool that the developers used while they're doing it. I mean,
but
it just makes it
they've
easier
actively
for us.
promoted it in their platform. It's like, and here's a map to do that.
If you're a smart developer and you think that you have a good enough community and a good enough platform, you can totally leverage those tools to get advanced conversion rates. I mean, there's some people out there that just want to build stuff. They don't want to play it. Then they want the acclaim. So
or the fun of doing the creativity of doing it. I mean, I'm the same way with geocaching. I mean, I love placing geocaches. I'm really not into hunting geocaches, which a lot of people think is very strange.
Now, would Marcel go find those movies if you were geocaching really strange independent movies?
Well, you could do an amazing geocache series based on all the theaters in Vancouver. Absolutely.
Why don't you explain what a geocache is? Because I'm sure some people are saying
geocaching.
I'm lost.
Okay, geocaching is using a GPS It's an international treasure hunt using GPSs to find specific locations on. If you go to geocaching.com, it's amazing. There's over 4 million geocaches around the world. BC has 40,000 of them all over the place.
And Bob has like 90% of them.
No. I've got 115 in the mountains of North Shore. I own the North Shore Mountains, but
And in Coal Harbor.
Yeah, and the Vancouver, I got some pretty cool stuff. But the thing is, it's a 100% community-driven movement, gaming movement, which isn't on the computer. The computer is just for logging your finds. You physically have to go out there. In fact, their tagline is "You are the search engine."
Yeah, you are.
So
definitely.
you physically have to go out and walk and find stuff.
It's kind of like a big Easter egg hunt.
Oh yeah, very cool Easter egg
Yeah.
hunt. Very, very cool.
Yeah,
Easter
but
egg
it'd be cool if it was like old weird movies or something. You know.
Well, you could just make the series.
There's another
Go out
thing
there and do
called
that.
there's another thing George Stroumboulopoulos did a couple of years ago called CD dropping, where you would drop off a CD of your favorite mix and get people to experience new music.
Actually, there was a very, very cool thing. In fact, you donated a thumb drive that I haven't executed yet. But what it was is people had taken those thumb drives, 1 gigabyte, 500 megabytes, the little thumb drives, and going to an area that had a wall, a brick wall, and inserting the thumb drive in with data and then cementing it in so just the thumb drive set. And if you bought your computer, you would slot it in to the side of the wall and you could access that data and download what was ever on there or upload stuff onto the chip and then leave it and all around the community. Amazing. I just haven't got enough drives.
Careful. You got to be careful sometimes.
Well, yeah, you could have all sorts of nasty virus crap on there.
Yeah.
But still, it's a very cool idea, man.
It is a super cool idea. So has Ralph ever tried anything like that? I just want to throw it. I'm
Ralph
trying to
has
get
been
people to
muted.
talk. I mean, I'm just like looking at a bunch of people around here, and I'm like, we've got Felicia Lamb, who's a very, very experienced
Our
person.
Seattle specialist. Look, if you want a fish thrown at you, that's the lady to go to.
And who else is with her?
What a strange
Julia.
specialty.
Yeah, fish market. That's good.
The fish market specialist. And then she's got two very exciting mavens beside her and a new exciting blue-coated woman. It's come in.
And we
very
also,
surprising.
We've got 24-hour news.
What?
Yeah.
Who? 24-hour news lady. Oh, my God. I had no idea. Suddenly, wow, we're going to be all over the net.
We are the movers and shakers of Vancouver.
We are the shakers and movers. Yeah. The pastrami of the internet.
I want to see a big picture of Bob on the front page and says, "Will you trust this guy?
Yeah,
Negative
exactly.
reviews can
Hey,
bring
I'm
you
just-
more
Yeah.
positive
I'm
results."
looking for negative reviews to
I've been
sell
look-
more product.
I've been looking around the room here,
Yes.
and almost the majority of the people are on their phones.
Oh,
tweeting.
Oh, yeah.
dude, you should see the
Tweetity
bunker.
tweet,
I think
tweet,
the
tweet.
bunker
It's
project.
on fire.
I think the bunker project is trending right now.
And
Yeah,
there's,
well, for Vancouver, I would
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, we're spiking.
So
We're
that brings
spiking.
us into another topic, which is
Ooh.
mobile.
Mobile posting on Facebook.
All right.
Mobile posting on Facebook, mobile posting on Twitter. Companies having a strategy for mobile.
I'm thinking investing in the other platform because that's everywhere. They seem to be everywhere. It's like other platform. There's Mac, there's BlackBerry, other. Can I get the other up?
On every pie chart I've seen other.
Other. I mean, really, couldn't you do a product called Other? That would be such a brilliant move. Other.com. Yes. We fill
Sure
in the
it's
gap.
taken. Oh, that's a.
That'd
I
be
don't know-
killer.
I don't know if that's a good tagline.
The other game.
No, I don't know if your tagline of "We fill in the gap" would be a good tagline.
I don't know. Depends. You could change it to other words and it'd be much more controversial.
Your mother from another mother.
Yeah. All
So
right.
We've got a pie chart here.
Yeah.
It's a blueberry pie chart.
Yeah, it shows BlackBerries have 13% of mobile posting to Facebook,
Yeah.
iPhone 13%, Android 14%,
Mobile web.
and the mobile web
Yeah.
has 57%. So,
So-
that's outside of an app.
All right. So let's
Yep.
define outside an app, mobile web. What does that mean?
That means they're using their phones just regularly.
That means they're using their
SMS.
phones on a web browser
Or an
on the
iPad?
No, I mean that would fall under Apple.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
No, but I mean, if they were using their
their SMS.
if they were using a web page
Yeah.
from an iPad, that would fall into the mobile web.
Wow.
I don't know.
What
you said
percentage is mobile?
13% for
57% is mobile. Basically, the mobile web has the most. If you combine BlackBerry, iPhone, and Android and other, it's still less than by 4%.
Yeah, I think that's
About
because
57%, man. That's huge.
It's easier to send an SMS than it is to log into an app, though.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Facebook has been asking me,
and teenagers love SMS.
Exactly, and Facebook has been asking me many, many times to add my phone number to my profile.
So this 57% is for people that are accessing Facebook outside of an app. So what they're saying here is, with numbers like this, it's easy to understand the driving force behind rumors of Facebook's Project Spartan and their move toward a full HTML5 version of Facebook in order to optimize their mobile web experience for the majority of the users that are actually accessing directly instead of through an app. So
yeah, but Facebook's been struggling with the way they're structured right now, because apparently they've got multiple databases for multiple devices because they're not HTML5. And the reason they're going to HTML5, one of the major benefits for them is they can have one database instead of multiple databases. Really?
Crazy.
I know. I mean, they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars in code because they're duplicating 600 million people database on multiple platforms, and the way they originally built it doesn't work. So HTML5, that's why they've been building it and rolling it out.
Yep.
That's their motivation, to make more money.
What do you think of this one here? Right here?
Which one here? What does it say? Women rule social media. Oh, yeah.
So true.
I know. I'm all over it.
With the exception of LinkedIn, women are the dominant users of the top 10 social media networks, spending more time, contributing more, using mobile more, and buying more.
You know why?
Than their male counterparts.
You know why? Because women are social and guys aren't. Guys are strategic. You know, oh, we have a crisis, I'll buy that product. Women are, let's talk about it for 3 weeks, and then we'll buy the product.
I don't know if these
At
pants
20%
go
off.
with my shoes.
Yeah. But if it's 80% off, I will buy it, and now I'm going to spend
the
130% more.
Maven just gave me a dirty look for that one.
Hey, you got great shoes. Actually, I
Hey.
did have a conversation with some women a couple of years ago, which blew my mind. They said, we just got back from shopping, and we bought this at 60% off. I'm going, cool. And we bought this at 80% off. I said, wow. So you came back with 40% of the money you went out shopping. Oh, no. We spent twice as much. It's like, what? So that's the difference between guys spending and girls spending.
That's girl math.
Yeah, it is. Because guys say, look, I can get 20% off on the shirt. I've got more money for beer tomorrow.
Yeah, but
The
we
girls,
Hey,
it's
if I
like,
get-
I got more money for shoes, even if the shoes cost me 30% more than my budget is.
Hey, I spend way more money on liquor when liquor's cheaper.
Or
than
games.
I do. Well, no. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, if you've drunk enough, yes.
If I drunk enough, yes.
Yes.
Drunk. Yeah.
Drunk or enough.
Enough
Or
black beer. If black beer's on special, though, I'll buy more.
black beer.
Yeah, even if it's $1 cheaper.
And then you go home and buy games on the internet.
Hey, 2 times as many women comment on Facebook posts compared to men.
Yep.
Or men that are in touch with their feminine side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very nice flower arrangement.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get blasted with
I hope you do.
hashtag Bob is a jerk. Well, usually I get hashtag Bob hates Americans, but I've been very good last 6 months.
That's why we lost.
Actually,
all
I
of
got
our-
a lot of shaking heads last year. It's like, Bob, I think you just
We're
broadsided
starting
the
to
Americans again.
We're starting to gain back our American listeners, but for a
Yeah.
while
Well, I'll be working on it to try and bash those back down again.
That's my Google Plus Hangout strategy. Working.
What?
yeah.
Going hang out with Americans. I've been actually going to a lot of the TV stations that hold hangouts, and I go hang out with them, and I teach them that we're
Hey.
from Canada,
Canada.
and we like maple syrup, back bacon, and hockey. And-
Absolutely. And it snows here all the time.
And I call it Canada or America's hat, and they all like laugh so hard.
Yeah, but
And
you
they're
know what
like,
the
what's
Cana-
that thing that you're wearing? And I'm like, a toque, and they're like, what's that?
It's America's hat.
It's a hat.
Yeah, but you know what? If we wear the hat, America's are Canada's pants.
Canada's pants.
I know. Wash them. For God's sake, wash those pants. I know. Well, we could go one layer deeper. It's like, America's Canada's underwear. What? I just blank stares. I can't believe Bob said that.
I
He
like
just dished the Americans again.
I like
hey,
that-
I've got a partner in business
that
from
make-
Texas.
Hey,
He's
wait a
so
minute.
cool.
If-
He
if
laughs
we're-
at my
is-
jokes.
If we're their hat though, wouldn't that make them our shirt?
Or our bow tie.
Isn't the brain located in the hat?
Well, it depends if you're a girl or a boy.
What does that make Point Roberts though?
I left for like 2 minutes, and this whole thing makes no sense now.
Hey, man, if you don't follow the movie trailers, we're not
that's why it's a
responsible.
podcast. You
Welcome
can
to
go
the
back
Bunker
and-
Project.
Yeah, exactly.
can
We
go
have
back and
digressed
listen.
beyond this universe.
No, but so I actually was telling Americans that we are already taking over.
What?
Well, we've got William Shatner down there, Celine Dion, Avril Lavigne, the guy from The Big Bang Theory's Canadian,
Really?
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
I
he's-
mean,
yeah.
Jim
you know,
Carrey.
I'm like, anything that's really good came from Canada. And they're like, what? And I'm like,
What?
well, you like John Candy, right?
You
And
like
they're
BC Bud, right?
Yeah, even all the dead people are.
Take a
Canadian.
drink. Take a drink.
Black beer. Oh, yeah.
But black beer. I mean,
Yeah,
but
it's rocking down
George
there.
St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre.
Who?
The guy from UFC. GSP.
Come on.
GSP. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Acronyms.
Hey, that reminds
to
me
the
of
rescue.
the time when I was looking for a bar to watch the UFC,
Oh.
and Bob just happened to phone me, and he was like, "Hey," I'm like, "I can't get into a bar. They're all full because of the UFC." And Bob's like, "Oh, go to this place or in Yaletown. I know the perfect place, and you'll definitely get in there." And then I'm walking over towards the place, and I'm like, "Okay, so where is it?" And I can't remember what it was. It was, I think,
Was
the
the raw
the raw canvas. Yeah.
Oh, raw
And then he's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, you definitely get in there because they don't have any TVs." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah."
They don't have TVs.
I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm going to see the fight." And he's like, "Oh."
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to watch the fight. I thought you wanted to get away from the crowds.
It's okay. You can get a recording on your gramophone.
You know.
Yeah.
Here you can get still shots on Flickr.
Actually, SOPA Flickr allows people to black out their photos today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wikipedia is blacked out. Hacker News is blacked out. Reddit's blacked out. Kotaku is not
Bastards.
because Gawker Media doesn't really care. But who else is Destructoid is blacked out. But UFC. I wonder if they're blacked out. I don't think so.
Who knows? Who
Probably
knows?
I didn't check any sports things. Anybody else here know?
I don't know. I the whole thing with these campaigns is, us in the social media
Wait,
realm.
it's over now?
So it was
after
passed or
8
not
o'clock,
passed?
I think it was the 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, 9:32. All right.
Okay,
forget
next
it.
topic.
Next.
Okay.
Welcome to social media. Sorry.
All right. So
Yeah. Sorry, you're 7 seconds late.
our
Your
next
topic doesn't count.
was why social media customer service will come of age in 2012.
Well, is it? What year is it?
2012.
Well, okay, we're coming of age. Awesome. Next.
Next.
I want a birthday cake. That's what I want. I want like coming of age cake. The big ones. A girl
So you'll be able
jumps
to
out,
actually
guy
get
jumps out if you're
customer
with
service
girls.
from companies using social media.
Oh, Ryan
I was hoping
Gosling is
for a big
Canadian
cake.
too, and he wasn't mentioned.
Yeah, but
And Rachel McAdams.
he has a birthday in 2012.
But what? I want to take a poll here. What's cuter, Ryan Gosling or a puppy?
Gosling.
Wow.
Marcel Lapointe from the movie Yearbook. He's Canadian too.
Yeah.
Accurate.
What's cuter, a puppy or Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
Well, it depends on the pose.
Ryan Gosling makes everything better. That's a scientific fact.
Wow. I use that Ryan Gosling on my popcorn. Awesome.
Did you just say that?
No.
Unbelievable.
Did you really just say
I'm
that?
gonna stick with
That just got somebody going big time. What was that? Oh, we got some fashion divas. Just came in. Nice cap.
All right. For the last topic of the show, I think we should go into.
Oh.
Yay.
Holy
Google.
cow, we've been digressing for 46 minutes. Awesome. That's a record. Everybody have a drink.
Google. Google is adding Google Plus into the search results, and it's causing a ton of controversy. And I just want to know, anybody here have any thoughts on that? Are they doing the right thing, or are they going to get slammed because of this?
That's a hard one, man.
Twitter's really pissed off.
Let's preface this with the fact that, remember when Google Plus first came out, right here on the Bunker Project, Bonnie and me
We
and
loved
Bob
it,
and
yeah.
you all said that this was going to happen.
Google Plus.
That Google Plus.
Oh, yeah, we predicted it.
We
was-
take it on the social search.
and
Yeah, we knew
also,
that,
and
yeah.
also, what we also said was that when Google Plus came out with the corporate pages,
Yeah,
it was going to be linked to
your profile.
Google Places, which hasn't happened yet.
No,
But I still think that's going to happen.
I totally agree. I mean,
Well, maybe not.
From,
If they get slammed because of this, maybe they won't actually do that.
well, from some of the people that I've been doing more hangouts lately because I was like, I kind of think I gave Google Plus a bad run for the last month.
You never invite me to hangouts, dude.
I'm always.
don't have to be
Got him going there. It's like,
Me and Wildfire Effect here were in a hangout yesterday.
And it was awesome.
And it was awesome. So, I mean, I invite you. I say Bob Garlick, Andrew McGovern. I invited Marcel. He told me I'm watching a movie. So, that was okay.
well, you got to fax me, okay?
Well,
Yeah, I'll
Marcel's,
fax you.
Marcel's always watching.
Actually,
movies.
the next time I do a hangout, I'll do it. But, I mean, the
That's
people
his thing,
on
man.
Google Plus, like the evangelists that are using the Hangout system, they love it. They think it's a great,
It's awesome
great
system,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, Hangouts are awesome, yeah.
Because we were told by somebody that was from Google or worked closely with Google was saying that it's great for businesses because their SEO will never, like the more people that use their page and social search and stuff like that will get them better SEO than right now.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was kind of strange, right?
Well, I don't claim to be an expert in Google Plus at all, but doesn't it actually bring us back to what social media was just a few years ago when people were starting out and individuals that were still trying to feel out what it should be like were there? You had, pure thoughts that were coming along. People were still recognizing how they were going to take advantage, in this case, of what the circles are, how to use a Hangout, how to get to know other individuals.
Yeah, and they were saying like plus ones are really going to help out too because then you're going to get more direct information.
But the whole point with Google Plus being incorporated into the search results is that Twitter isn't, Facebook isn't, and because now you've got people doing a Google search, and this Google search being the dominant search engine is supposed to be kind of, or in some people's eyes, it's a private company. keep in mind.
Non-biased,
It is,
basically.
yeah.
It's people think it should be unbiased.
I mean, I agree. I in a way, I think it is. I mean, you'll see more people go over to Bing than with Google Plus because, I mean, if you have a Google account, then yes, you're going to get more people in your circles showing up in your social search, right? That's one advantage of being on Google Plus is that if you follow the right people, you can see places they recommend and sites that they look at, which can be very helpful if you're looking for specific information. If you're a tech leader, then that can be very valuable, or a real estate agent or things like that. But at the same time, I mean, it could also skew the information based upon who the people are allianced with, right? And I don't know if I agree with that completely.
Can I play devil's advocate
Yes.
on that just a little bit?
Yes, please.
Well, if you think about it, Google has spent a lot of their time actually doing it right. I mean, what they've done is they've created a whole bunch of value to individuals. They've given it up for free for years. And now they're taking advantage of the fact that individuals really trust Google. Is it always correct that we're now relying on one different private kind of group?
I mean, with search back in the day, there was like 8 different search engines, right? There was like Web Crawler, GeoCities, all that sort of stuff, and Alta Vista. And I mean, after Google came out, it kind of like railroaded a lot of them, right? Like you had Yahoo Search, you had MSN Search, and you had Google.
Okay, but like once they announced this was happening,
Twitter was pissed.
Twitter was pissed.
Yeah.
They put out a statement. Okay, but at the same time,
Because they didn't renew
At
their
the
contract
same
with
time.
Google to have their results posted in the breaking news.
yeah, but at the same time, Facebook doesn't and Twitter doesn't allow Google to access their data
Yeah,
either.
Facebook's in bed with Microsoft.
Yeah,
'Cause when you go look at the maps
so
now, it's
really,
big.
when you think about it, how can Facebook or Twitter complain when they're blocking Google from searching their results?
True.
Because it's a closed system.
Yeah.
So,
But you're right. These are all businesses, right?
Yeah.
And I think that once all these businesses realize that just helping out customers is the end result that they should be working towards rather than fighting, I think they'd all benefit.
Hey, let's just back it up here. Let's just talk about what do businesses do. Businesses make money, and that's, I think, the big thing with Google right now. They're saying, you know what? I think it's time we want to establish ourselves and make a little bit of money. And all these little guys like Facebook and stuff that are giving us a hard time about, boom. Guess what? We're changing the rules now. And everyone's like, hey, you can't do that. You're Google. You're supposed to be nice and not make any money. Well, they make a ton of money. Apparently, 32 guys in Google make $1 billion. That's the AdSense guys. There's 32 people in the AdSense team. They make all the money for Google. And now Google's saying, you know what? Those 32 guys have been working real hard. How about the rest of us start making some money for the company? So, it could be a different world 6 months from now.
It could.
Or not.
I mean, if I'm still looking for breaking news, I still go to Twitter. I mean, it's just something I've done recently.
Yeah, it's definitely a good place to trend follow.
Well, it's not just trending. I mean,
to see the analysis of the news, you go to Google Plus.
Kind of, I guess. I mean, I find that I get more, like almost 2 hours ahead by going to Twitter than I do if I actually go to Google and search the same term. Well,
I find on the internet, if I'm following online news and stuff like that, CBC and CNN and all those traditional, they're about a day to 3 days behind me, sometimes several weeks behind. And I'll open up a newspaper, 24 magazine, newspaper, and blah, 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 and say, oh, breaking news, I say, what? Number one, you got it wrong. And number two, this is like 3 or 4 weeks old. What the hell are you doing reporting it now? What are you guys doing?
That's the Associated Press. That's not usually the...
24 is just taking it off.
Do we also have to consider
24 is awesome, though.
Well, yeah, but they're just doing feeds off. They're just doing feeds off their Associated Press.
I think any place that's actually giving information to people around the world is not a bad thing. I mean, sure, they can taint it with their own views, but I think the fact that they're still sharing the information is important.
Well, yeah, but they're sharing it so that they can sell advertising.
Totally. That
sounds like a business. God,
yes.
It's just like Google. They're in it for money.
God.
Oh, they got to pay people. That's right. Yeah. It's the small businesses. We got to, lean towards the money side.
How many times have you done a search on Google for a particular company and the result has come way down the list?
Well, depends on your search.
Exactly, yeah.
It depends on whether you're actually putting in the right keywords.
No, but no. I mean, if you put in a search for a specific company, it almost never appears on the first page.
But that's the company's fault, though.
Yeah, and you got
why?
Because they didn't do proper SEO optimization.
But Google has become the preeminent search engine on the basis that it gives you the best results.
Yes,
based on other people's ability to create the right data.
But if the content isn't on their website, then it's not going to be.
But
found.
the point is, if Joe Blow does a search using a search engine,
I've searched him actually. Joe Blow, Vancouver.
Why would you look for Joe Blow?
Well, the thing is, if you that's a very classic thing. A lot of people think with Google, when they put something on Google, it's within their demographic area, and actually Google tries to do that. But if you do the Joe Blow generic, that's all, or Joe Blow Vancouver, totally different results, or Joe Blow Granville, Vancouver, you get totally different results because you're giving Google more parameters. Or you go Joe Blow minus San Francisco, then and all you do is put the minus and then San Francisco. It'll take out any reference to Joe Blow in the San Francisco area. So it's how good you are at using Google.
The bottom line is if you've got a company name and you're not being found on a Google search, then it's because you don't have any content.
But Google is simultaneously the world's most popular search engine.
Absolutely.
Because it gives people searching what they perceive as the best results. And yet at the same time, it's also the world's most valuable media company.
It is.
Because it advertises. The two are mutually incompatible. Because either the guys buying the advertising are getting ripped off, or the guys searching.
Well, you've got the advertising. You've got the advertising.
I kind of agree with that.
In my opinion.
No, I kind of agree with that statement because, I mean, how can you make sure that you're getting the right search results from the person that's providing you a service when they've got a vested interest in how much the AdWord costs?
Because the ads are separated from the organic results.
I do get that. But, I mean, still, a lot of people don't know how to differentiate that on the internet.
There's even a bigger issue right now.
You got to remember, we're advanced users. Right?
Yeah, and the average Joe.
And the average Joe goes on. Like,
it says right on their sponsored
Marcel
link.
left. I was going to say he looks up a movie, and he gets 6 different search results based on IMDb's things. It might not even be the movie he's looking for. I mean, I've looked up songs, and they're not even the correct songs.
Yeah, but okay, look at that. Your preferences. You use IMDb. A lot of people say, "Hey, so I checked out IMDb. What's IMDb?
That's from.
It's the biggest database for movies on the internet. Well, how could you not know IMDb?" And they go, "Like,
Google,
I've never heard of
Google
that."
sends me to IMDb.
Yeah,
I didn't choose
because
to go
they
there because
create the best
the
content.
Yeah.
they create, and that's the whole thing, and it goes all the way back to
because they're the most
last
relevant.
show.
They're the most relevant for that search term, and
Because
it's true.
of their content. If you create consistent content over a large period of time, you will rank amazing. Like if you Google Bob Garlic, not even Bob Garlic, I own 9 pages of Google.
Yeah. Same thing.
And that's crazy. It's like, how could this guy, okay, I've got a weird name. But really, all the other Bob Garlics in the world hate my guts. Because like, hang on, my name's Bob Garlic in London, England. It's like, who the hell is this Bob Garlic in Canada? He's on like, hang on,
I got
9
the same
pages
thing,
in.
yeah.
Exactly.
But everybody
you
hates
can
our
own
name.
Does that
Google.
mean that you're a secret Google employee or something?
Well, I understand how Google works.
It just means you're putting out a
Create
lot of
tons of content.
It means we got there
But
first.
if you don't,
So if the show isn't nice to Google,
No, but
you lose 9 pages of advertising.
But the point is, if people are searching for your brand and you're not showing up at all on Google, it's because you haven't put anything up yet.
And what we mean by
according to Google,
No,
but what we mean
According to the
period.
internet.
So
Because Google is the
like
number one.
like if you look at any brand that's got a blog.
yeah, but who knows what their algorithms
is
are?
it
You
Paul?
know, the algorithm is.
No,
Hey Paul.
Well, their algorithms are being changed
Paul.
500 times a year.
So
James,
we should roll back. Search SEO stands for search optimization.
Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization, which means you've got a crawler that Google uses, and Google looks for these specific keywords and the frequency that appears in your website. So that helps determine what is more likely to come up.
But the people using Google are using Google because they want the best
want the best
research,
information,
the best results for their search.
Yeah, and
okay,
people-
so the fact that there are things called SEOs, the fact that SEOs exist, demonstrates that
Gamification.
people are gaming the system.
People were
to
gaming
use that phrase.
People were gaming the system. I mean, Google has gone through.
That's why there's black hat versus white hat, right?
and Google's
What do you
gone-
mean by black hat?
Black
versus-
hat is because there's white hat, which is the correct way to do it, and black hat
No,
is the way to game the system. And for instance, a good example of that is when people were putting. You're trying to get a certain keyword. Say we're trying to get the keyword social media. So we'd put on the white background, we'd put white text, social media, all the way across the page. Well, when
that was back in the day.
That was back in the day, way back when.
That was back in the day.
So you could rate number 1 just because you had
And that's-
that text on your page that wasn't visible to the naked eye.
But you
But
guys,
that's not white hat. That's
black hat.
That's black hat. White hat and
and if
black
you do
hat
that now, you get you get banned.
I got to roll back, dude. White hat. White hat is somebody that notices an exploit or something that's wrong with the system and informs the company. Black hat is somebody that knows the exploit or whatever's going on and doesn't inform the company and uses it to their advantage.
do you really think that you're brighter than the guys at Google?
Pardon?
Do you think you're brighter than the guys at Google? I mean, those guys.
No, I don't-
Those guys are the cream of the cream. Those
But-
guys really
but
know
they're-
what they're doing.
I'd say
There's-
yes.
there's
yes,
always-
you are. I know, I'm serious. Like, really, those that work at Google, they are actually scouted out to be some of the brightest
They
and
are,
brilliant ones out there. But
They know exactly what they're doing.
the reason that they're the brightest and the most brilliant is because they listen to other individuals who are bright and brilliant. So those are the people that are
Okay,
sitting
yes.
yeah,
in
but
the
they're not
other
as
rooms here
bright
well.
and brilliant as they are.
No, it's that's not true. I mean, if you go around thinking that people are always smarter than you, you're sorely mistaken because a
Believe
lot
me,
of-
I'm not. That's-
No, but here's the thing: like people are by definition a very sad state. Okay. I mean,
I'll
You
say
should
that
never
personally, but
assume
this is-
people are smarter than you because you know what assume does to you.
Oh yeah, we know that.
yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I don't think I listen to what's going on. I look at see what's going on, and I hope the people that are actually running these businesses, like you're saying, are actually looking. And Google did go forward trying to get rid of websites that were doing what Andrew's talking about, right?
Well, 10 years ago, before Google came around, we had 10 different search engines you could have used.
Yeah.
Today we have one.
No,
No.
we have three.
We have 3?
We have 3.
Which are the 3? What,
There's
Yahoo?
Bing and there's
There's
Yahoo.
Bing.
Well, Yahoo is dead because they changed their.
I don't know if you'd say they're dead. I
Well-
mean, it still is the drug of choice. I mean, it's whatever word the person can remember.
Well, there's multiple search engines because you have to keep in mind what is a search engine. So we've got Google, obviously the dominant player.
yeah.
We've got YouTube, which is
There's
the second
Ask Jeeves
or the third largest search
or
engine,
Ask.com.
which they own.
but they own it. And then there's Bing.
Then there's ask.com.
There's iTunes.
There's
Which
ask.com.
people don't think of iTunes.
ASK ask.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you use
I
Firefox,
thought that's some sort of porn thing.
Originally, it was Ask Jeeves, wasn't it?
if you use Firefox as your browser, ask.com is your by default browser, and that is the worst search engine possibly. I mean, for everything that you're talking about here, ask.com does that. They game the system. They will give you the wrong results. They will send you to misleading information.
Was that originally Ask Jeeves?
No, I don't think.
Well, don't you think
it could have been? It could have been.
Don't you think it's
was,
time
yeah.
that the government or an official body took this over? Because
that's what SOPA is all about.
All right, on that note, I'm just going to say fear the government.
Yeah.
no,
Fear
you
the
shouldn't.
government.
You shouldn't,
On that, totally
Yeah,
fair
absolutely
enough.
should. Bureaucrats.
Paul, come back next
the
2
enemy.
weeks, and we'll have this
Yeah.
discussion.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for the last 2 shows. Awesome people coming over.
And
Great
thanks for helping us
conversations.
trend in Vancouver.
Beautiful. Yeah, apparently we trended in Vancouver the last 2 shows. Awesome. Way to go. The power of hashtags. So if you don't believe in hashtags, get into it. Get a group of 20 crazy people together, and you could dominate your city. Amazing as that sounds. So next week we got show, 73, 74 coming up a couple of weeks now. Really looking forward to chatting with you guys, and we'll try to get another big group. If you have any questions, ridiculous, like what's a URL, or I've heard Facebook's taken over the world, we'd love to hear about it. Do we have a phone number? Have we canceled that yet?
1-877-636-1474. If you call that number, that's
Nobody does. I know, nobody does.
636.
And don't forget
Santa
to like
did.
our Facebook fan page.
Oh, what? Yeah, we have a
We have
Facebook,
a Facebook
fan page. That's
The
amazing.
Bunker Project.
Social media rules.
/ The Bunker Project.
And we do have a very cool website, Uncensored Social Underground. And the reason we got such a ridiculous name is because we couldn't get thebunkerproject.com. Some crazy European guys that use real bunkers for their content. Jeez, they just
All right, and
outdid
go
us.
to themovieyearbook.com. Check it out.
Oh, yeah, it's great. What's your URL, dude?
Themovieyearbook.com.
The movie yearbook, not movie yearbook. The
The.
movie yearbook.
Could you put Vancouver in there? If you do a Google search, it'll come up.
What?
Oh,
What? Yeah, I bet
hey,
you do. What?
Don't forget socialmediaclubvancouver.com.
Oh, it's a rockin' place. Yeah, that's a meetup.com. Check it out.
And that's the
SMCYB.
end of the show.
Thank you. Bye.
I like the porn music.